A national precipitation milestone was confirmed last week. The period from May 2018 to April 2019 was the wettest 12-month stretch on record for the lower 48 states, going back to 1895. In other words, the wettest consecutive 12 months in the last 124 years. And as a result, 91% of the country is now free of any color on this drought monitor chart, which uses yellow for abnormally dry and other colors for places officially in drought. This is the most color-free this map has been in its almost 20-year history. And to understand how we got here, let's go back to last year. Here's a look at how precipitation in 2018 ranked for each state. Any shade of green means wettest 1/3 of all years for that state. 36 states are shaded green. The number in each state gives the ranking, and because records go back 124 years, 124 means wettest year on record. Those states are also shaded the deepest green. There were 9, including Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. The medium shade of green, what you see in Ohio and Illinois, for example, means last year was a top 10% wettest year. That was true in another 16 states. The tan color means a state was in the driest 1/3 of all years. That includes 6 western states. But no state made the top 10% driest in 2018. That would have been in a shade of brown. And using this same color scheme, let's look at each month so far this year. Here's January, certainly more green than tan, rather wet in the Northeast. February, very wet nationwide. 22 states had a top 10% wettest February. Here's March, which on balance actually leaned a bit on the dry side nationwide. And finally, April, where the country as a whole went back to the wet side, 33 states in a shade of green. And now here's the composite for the first 4 months of 2019, dominated by green. 36 states had a 1/3 wettest first 4 months of the year, only 3 states off to a 1/3 driest. Now to finish up, I'd like to focus on Pennsylvania, some work I've done quantifying the wetness of the seasons. This color-coded table goes back to 2016. The columns are the meteorological seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. The color coding mimics what was used on the maps. That is, dark green is top 10% wettest, light green wettest 1/3, the tan is driest 1/3, and the brown top 10% driest. Notice no brown in the last 3 years, but plenty of dark green. In fact, the last 3 complete meteorological seasons, that would be this past winter, last fall, and last summer, were all top 10% wettest here in the state, with last fall and summer being the wettest on record. Plus, last spring and the previous winter were top 3rd wettest. So no wonder 2018 was the wettest year on record here. And if we go back to the spring of 2017, 7 of the last 8 complete seasons were at least in the wettest 1/3. And I guarantee you that this spring, which would be in this box, will soon turn green as well. So that makes 8 of the last 9 seasons. To find a season that was in the driest 1/3, you have to go back to the summer of 2016. And to find a season that was a top 10% driest on record, you have to go all the way back to the spring of 2006. Indeed, the last decade or so has leaned wet in the state. Stay tuned. We'll have an extended forecast for you next.